Hello, everyone. You are welcome once again, to today's lesson. And in today's lesson, we are going to continue from where we left off, in our previous lesson. And in our previous lesson, we started, dealing with was sequences and series, core math aspect of that. It's really the core math aspect. And I walked you through the definition of what we mean whenever we mention sequences and series in maths. We also went through the types of sequences and series. And I gave you 4 types, and I said we have other types. The types that you were given were not exhaustive. We have other types, only that the type that you were given will be the one that we'll be looking at. And we mentioned the linear sequence, which we also call the linear progression. We did mention the arithmetic sequence or exponential sequence, which we also call the arithmetic progression. Sorry, the geometric progression, GP. And I did mention also quadratic sequence. And last but not the least, the recurrence was sequence. I introduced you also to the notations that usually you encounter whenever you are dealing with sequences and series. And after that, we took the first type of what sequence and series, which was linear sequence or arithmetic progression. And under that, we gave the definition, or I explained to you what the pattern of your sequence should be before you can label it as an AP. And right after that, we looked at the general term of an AP, and that was where we ended. So I want someone to tell me, what I said, the formula for the general term of an AP, which is what we also refer to as the end term of an AP. What did I say the formula is? If you know, you put up your hand, then we will be good to go. I'll mention all you. So let me see. All right, Prof. Herbert.
Yes, sir.
Let's go. So we said
the general formula for the n term is equal to a plus bracket open n minus 1 bracket close d, the difference.
So this is what we have. Remember I said a formula. So what you stated there is deficient. Every formula is a relation, so it's supposed to have 2 sides. You have only stated 1 side. So redeem yourself, Prof. Herbert. Prof. Herbert, are you there?
Yes, sir.
You stated only every formula is a relation. And for every relation, you are supposed to get something is equal to this. That's why you will be asked to make, this is the subject of this relation. So because you need to have size.
UN is equal to.
So U sub n, very good. So you make that one. So you have to be very careful. Other than that, what you have here will be meaningless. And remember, so define your parameters. I remember you defined only the D. And even the D, you said the difference, but it's not the difference. There is something attached to the difference. So they label it properly.
So it's the common difference.
Very good. And your A?
Is the first number.
The first number, which we call?
The term.
The first term. Very good. Then the N?
Is the number of items.
Number of items. Remember I said here we are dealing with something. So
the number of terms.
The number of terms. I thought you were going to say the number of numbers. But in any case, it's the same. If you say the number of numbers is the same, it's not wrong.
Sir.
Only that the numbers will be labeled as terms. That's all. So that's okay. Very good. All right. So those of you who were not with us, This is the formula for the general term. And once you know the term is the general term for specifically an AP. So if you know this general term formula or relation, okay, you should be able to find any particular term of any AP that is given. As simple as that. Okay, we did quite a lot. The first situation, okay, we were given a set of numbers and AP. We realized that that was AP, and we were asked to determine the formula for the general term in terms of n. We did that. The second type of question, or the second worked example, we look at a situation where you are given the end term formula and you are asked to use it to find particular terms. Okay, in this third example, we are going to combine the two. You can see we are going to combine, okay, the two. Okay, so let's look at the first worked example. Sorry, the third, forgive me. Worked example. And then once again, please, if there is anything that you don't understand, let me know. And let me know at the point that you don't understand. Don't let me, okay, go far and you take us back. I really don't like that. It is usually not fair if you do that. Okay, so please desist from doing that. The point that you don't understand, let me know. I'm here because of you. Okay, so let's look at worked example 3. 3, we have babies. We are supposed to find a formula for the nth term. Okay, then I. Hence, we are supposed to find the 8th and or the 15 terms of these APs. So these are what we are giving. So it means what I'm going to do is, we have two ways of solving, okay, the whole of what we have here. Someone can take I, okay, then do I for A up towards D. Then come and do I for A also up to D. However, I am not going to go by that route. I am going to take A, then do AI and II. Is that okay? That's also another way. By the end, I will end up solving all that I'm supposed to solve or look for. Is that clear? Okay, so on that note, let's go and look at the solution. And remember, I've told you, anytime you read question, don't be in a hurry to lose marks. Okay, if you have salient parts in the question, underline. Okay, so here you are asked to find the end term. If you like, you can underline the end term. Okay, so that you know that you are looking for a general term. Then you are supposed to find the 8 and the 15 terms. So two, okay, particular terms. The 8 term is a particular term. The 15 term is also a particular term. Okay, however, the first one, the I, we are looking at a general term. So let's go for 3A, and I will do AI and II. Okay, so quickly. Okay, in this one too, we are told that the sequences that we have there are, okay, what do you call it? APs. Okay, so quickly, let's look at the approach. So solution is what you write. I have already typed it there, but you write it before you come and number your solution accordingly. So the major number is 3. Okay, however, we'll go for the minor A. And A, what am I giving? I'm giving 3, 7, okay, the sequence 11, then ellipses. This obviously is an infinite, okay, sequence. Okay, so you know, if you like, you can write the given or ignore. Okay, then now we come to I. Okay, now, are we supposed to go and verify whether the sequence that we have there is what an AP? Will it be necessary? If yes, why? If no, why? My professors, okay. Prof. Ella.
Okay, no, because it was no,
It is
because it's already stated that it's an AP.
very good. Okay, so all the sequences that you have here, you are told that it's an AP. So the previous one that we did, were we told? We didn't know. Okay, so we had to go and verify, test whether the sequences, okay, were AP or not. Forgive me. Okay, but here we are specifically told. So it means there is no need for you to go and verify. No matter how hardworking you are, it is not none of your business to verify. If the person gave you an AP, it is the person's problem. It's not your problem. And regarded that as an AP, it is not your problem. So the fault will come from the person, not you. Okay, so in this case, the other one who would have gone to verify, they will come and write this is an AP. Okay, then we come and write for an AP. But here we know that what you have here will be AP. So straight away, you write for an AP. So you don't write this as an AP. You get my point?
Yes, please.
Okay, so please take note of all the information that you are giving or being given. So for an AP, okay, here, what are we looking for? We are looking for the end term. And the end term, you sub n as, okay, you mentioned, okay, it will be A plus n minus 1, okay, D. All correct.
Yes, please.
Okay, so we need to find our A, which we know, and also go and find what's our D. So in this case, we are going to have that, okay, A is equal to the first term, which is 3. Okay, and okay, D will be equal to just take 2 consecutive terms and find the difference and write it there. So that would be 7 minus 3, which will be equal to 4. Is that clear? The other one, when we were supposed to verify, we will do this difference and come and do that difference also here before we get, okay, we label that as D. But here, just 2 will be okay because you know it's an AP. So you know that if you go and find the difference here too, you get the same thing. So just 1 pair difference, consecutive term difference will be okay for you. Is my point well made?
Yes, please.
Okay, so let me maybe write this one well. So at this point, we are in a comfortable lead. Okay, so what do? We said this one before. So we go and substitute the known parameters A and D into our, okay, end term. So therefore, your U sub n, which is the end term, okay, will be equal to, okay, A, which is 3, plus n minus 1. So n, you don't know, okay, minus 1. But your D, you know, D is positive. But remember, I told you whether positive or not, for safety reasons, we'll put it in brackets. Okay, so now we are going to get this to be equal to, and you can see that as I move from this line to the next line, I write close to the margin. I didn't write here. So I'm going to get 3, then I expand, plus 4n, okay, then minus 4. All correct?
Yes,
However,
please.
after expansion, I've told you usually after expansion, and I didn't say always, I said usually. After expansion, there will be like terms for you to combine. So if I combine 3 and minus 4, that will give me minus 1. It's negative. So let me see whether my next term is positive. So I'd rather shelve the negative, write the positive first, then bring what's the negative. So that will give me, okay, 4n minus 1. Is my point well made? Hello, my professors, is my point well made?
Yes, please.
Yes,
Okay,
please.
so if you write minus 1 plus 4n, there is nothing wrong, only that you have one more step, which you have to rearrange. Always start with a positive term. Okay, repetition is basically for emphasis. Okay, so now we know, okay, the general term of this particular AP. And once you know the general term of that particular AP, we can go and look at II. Okay, so II, we are supposed to find, okay, hence find the A term. The A term, what is the notation for the 8th term? What will be the notation for the 8th term? Okay, Prof. Ama, Mensa.
Please use subscript 8.
U sub 8. Okay, very good. Okay, so here we are good to go. So in this case, okay, I'll write hence. Okay, or if you like, you can keep the hence and later draw your, but I am going to write the hence. Okay, so hence U sub 8, which is the 8th term, will be equal to, okay, remember here, you know your n is 8. So come and substitute n into the general term formula. Because if U sub n is equal to this, then U sub 8 will be wherever you see n, you place it with 8. So that will give us 4 times 8, okay, then minus 1. Okay, Prof. Adumajima.
Mr. Hackman, please, the question 3, II, ABC.
ABC has done what? I don't get the import of your statement. Prof. Aduma. Okay, I don't know whether you said I should come and do. Remember, I said I will take do I for it and I. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to take each of the sequences, okay, then deal with it I and I. So that's my approach. I told you another approach is to take I, then do it for A up to D, then I, A up to D. In any case, all of them, you do whatever that is expected of you. Okay, so I am going the second route. Okay, so what do we do? That will give us what? Okay, so I'm going to have already, I've done my conclusion that there is sense here. So I'll come and write equal to, then I'll get 4 times 8, which is what?
32.
Okay, 32, then minus 1, which will be equal to what? 31. And, okay, so we have another term that we are supposed to find, which is u sub 15. The 15th term is represented by u sub 15, and that will be equal to, okay, Prof. Kofi.
Yes. So why not just use the original a plus n minus 1d? So you get the same answer.
This one.
Yes, you get the 31.
So if you go and use this one, you do double work. You are now again going to substitute the A and the D. Meanwhile, you've done that already. So you know the general term for this particular sequence in terms of n. So once you know n, you are good to go. So
No, what I'm saying is at the therefore part, you see where it's 3 plus open bracket n minus 1 4. If you substitute everything at that state, where it should be 3 plus the h minus 1 4, you get the
so
same 31.
you said we should substitute it here.
Yeah.
Oh, there's nothing wrong if you substitute, only that between this and this, which one is easy to write?
Yeah. Okay.
You can, so you always use the simplified version. You get the point?
Yes, please.
Okay, so once we know the simplified version of the UN or U sub n, that is what we will use to find any particular term. You catch?
Yes, please.
Okay, good. So use only this one. Please take note. Okay, so at this point, I'm again going to use this, which will give me 4, okay, times 8, okay, then minus 1. Oh, sorry, 4 times 15, forgive me, because my n is 15 this time around. Let me see, someone. Okay, Prof. Adoma,
Mr. Hackman, please, I was asking that A, B, and C had a semicolon after there. Yeah, so I wanted to know if like it affects the meaning or like what does it mean, the semicolon?
Okay, so the semicolon will mean, you can see that there is a column here. The semicolon will mean that when I bring semicolon here, then it means at least you get a B. Okay, this will not be the end. And you can see that the last one, usually this one, there should be a full stop here. Only that I think it came, but it was added to the 3 dots. You get it? So
yes,
that's just to say that this one, after this one, there is another one, there is another one. So this one, that's the last one. That's why there is full stop. That's all.
thank you so much.
Okay, all right. You want to make me turn me into an English teacher, I won't mind you. All right. Okay, so this is what we have. Okay, so now, okay, we know this becomes basic algebra. So this will be equal to, let's go. 4 times 15.
60.
60, then minus 1, which obviously gives us last as what? Okay, 59. So we've drawn our conclusion. Don't come and write therefore again. Hence is here. So it means hence u sub 8 is equal to 31 and u sub 15 is equal to what? 59. So hence your A term is what? Which is denoted by this. So this is the same as the A term. It's 31 and your 15 term is what? 59. All correct. Afa.
Yes, please.
Okay, so I'm going to skip B. Okay, then we will do what starts of the C together. And D will be yours. Okay, subsequently, your assignment will come. Okay, so now, okay, D, the numbers are equally pretty, so you should be able to work with it. Let's go and look at that of the C. So C, what are we giving? Okay, the sequence 1/2, Okay, 5/6. Okay, 1 whole number 1 on what? On 6. Then your ellipsis. Okay, so this is what we have. All right, so at this point, we already know that the sequence that we have there is what? Is an AP. Okay, so we are looking for the general term, which is the end term of this particular AP. Okay, so for an AP, okay, so I've exhausted, I will come down. My U sub n, okay, you know is given by the formula A plus n minus 1, the whole of that in brackets, then G. All correct. Okay, so we need, if you don't know this formula, you are stuck. Okay, so at this point, I can come and say that therefore my U sub n, or I know, let me go and write the box. Okay, because I know I have to substitute. So A is equal to, what is A? 1/2, is that not it? And okay, your D, you are going to find your D, and your D will be equal to your second term, which is 5/6. Okay, then minus your first term, which is 1/2. So you use your calculator, you write the value there. I'm waiting.
1/3.
Okay, so 1/3, she said. Okay, point well made. Okay, so at this point, therefore, you go and substitute your U sub n, which is the n term, will be equal to, okay, our A, which is 1/2, not that pretty, but we can still work with it, plus n minus 1, okay, then times our D, which is also not pretty, 1/3, a fraction. Okay, so this will be equal to, you know, I've told you, expand, combine like terms always, don't leave it with a bracket. So now 1/2 will be intact. Okay, n minus 1, okay, you multiply. So it will be this one times this, which will give us plus, okay, 1/3n, or n/3 is the same thing. Do you agree? Then minus 1/3, all correct. My professors, are you there?
Yes, please.
Okay. All right. Okay. So now, what do we do from here? Okay. So at this point, we know after expansion, I've told you, usually there will be like terms. So check. But here, the numbers that you have there are not pretty. So I've told you before, you can easily add. Okay. Take the LCM, especially when your terms contains at least one fraction. So let's go and take the LCM. What would the LCM be?
6.
6. Okay. Then we are going to get 6. Okay, this will go here 3 times this, so you get what? 3. Then plus this will go here 2 times n, so 2n. Then this will go here also 2. So minus is here, so this will go here 2 times 1, so that will give you 2. So in effect, we are going to get, okay, 3 minus 2, that is positive, so I'll write that one as 1, plus my 2n all over 6. So this is the formula. I've already drawn my conclusion here. So this is the simplified formula for your U sub n. Apa.
Yes, please.
Okay, so at this point, once we know the U sub n, okay, in terms of n, we are in a comfortable lead. So this is the general term formula, the simplified general term formula for this particular sequence. Okay, so once you know the general term formula, remember we know the particular terms. Okay, so let me see whether I created another. Okay, I did. Okay, so we are going to continue. So the I, we are done with I. Okay, what are we supposed to find? Some particular term, but there is hence there. So I'll write hence. And remember, as you read the question, hence must be underlined. Okay, so hence means make use of previous results. Okay, so don't go use your last statement that you have there to find whatever that you are asked to find. So that will give me U sub 8. Okay, will be equal to. So in this case, let's go back and see. I remember there was 1 plus 2n, so it will be 2. Then your n is 8 all over 6. Am I right?
Yes, please.
Okay, so this will be equal to 1 plus was 16 all over what? Over 6, which gives us what? 17 over 6. Can we end here?
Yes, please, but we won't.
Very good. Okay, we can end, but we shouldn't. Because remember, you don't conclude with an improper fraction unless otherwise stated. Okay, take note of that. As for these marks, okay, they are low-hanging marks that you shouldn't lose. So over 6. So if you change this one to its corresponding maize numbers, what do we get? 2 whole number, 5 on 6. Am I right?
Yes.
Okay, so that will be 8 for the use of 8, which is the same as the 8 term. And okay, the other term that we are supposed to find will be use of 15. And that will be equal to, okay, 1 plus, wherever we see n in use of n, it is what, 15 now. So it will be 2 into 15, okay, all over 6. So we are going to get this to be equal to 1 plus 30 all over what, 6. So we are going to get 31 over 6. So obviously, again, we cannot conclude with what? That's, okay, improper fraction. So you change it to its corresponding maize numbers. And what would that give us?
5 whole number 1.
6.
1 on 6. We are done. As simple as that. Safa.
Yes, please.
Okay, very good. Okay, so you are doing well. At this point, any questions?
Yes, please.
Okay, so if indeed your yes is yes, then let's look at this question, okay, together. So class assignment, okay, I will give you some time to submit. How many students do I have here? Everyone must submit this class assignment. Everyone is going to submit. Okay, so unless maybe there is a special reason, okay, that you cannot submit. Some of you use laptops and you use your parents' phone to capture and send. So if that's the particular reason you can't capture and send it to me, please, okay, let me know. All right, okay, so at this point, this becomes your class assignment. Okay, so now that you submitted your assignment, I can move on. Okay, we'll look at the solution later. So now let's look at another set of questions. Okay, quite different from what we've done. Okay, quite different, but we are basically going to use the same concept anyway. Okay, all right, so let's look at this question. Okay, question 4, where does example 4, we have if A, which is our first term, is equal to -4, and U sub 12 is equal to 8, find what D. Okay, so you've been given more or less 2 relations. You this boy, you killing me. I won't mind you. I have to look for you one of these days when I come to Accra. I'll look for you. All right. Okay, so let me move on. I won't allow you to distract me. Your head like man. All right. Okay, so this is what we have. Okay, so let's see. We are going to pick the information and use it to solve. So solution. That's what you write first. Okay, then you extract what you are giving. The question number you are supposed to, but usually, if let's say the question came this way and you have a constraint space here, lines there, okay, you can even choose not to write solution, then proceed. Okay, only that I usually advise you to write a solution, and even solution, you can choose not to write a question number. Okay, but we are sticking to our old ways, so it will be 4. Okay, so what am I giving? So giving A is equal to what? -4. And what else do I know? I know U sub 12 is also equal to 8. Okay, so this is what we have. Okay. Okay, so now, okay, and this one, okay, so, okay, Kennedy, the next one will be for you, don't worry, from Kennedy. All right, so let's see. A is equal to -4, U sub 12 is equal to 8. We need to find D. But once you can see that you've been given U sub, okay, which more or less will come from a general term, because you need the general term before you can find the particular term. Okay, so you need to go and quote the general term formula, which you will know your end, and you are good to go. Okay, so this is my point. As you mature, so quickly, we know that always, okay, U sub 1 will be equal to A. U sub 2 will be equal to A plus D. U sub 3 will be equal to A plus 2D. Okay, U sub 4 will be equal to A plus 3D. Do you agree? If you don't agree and you want me to throw more light on it, okay, you can say so.
Please show more light.
Okay, very good. You know the general formula of use of n is equal to what? A plus n minus 1d, am I right? So the general formula
Yes.
for any AP is this. So if I'm looking for U sub 1 for any AP, it will be my A plus, I know my n, so it will be 1 minus 1, then d. Okay, which will give me A plus 0d, which will give me A. So that's why U sub 1 is always equal to A. Is that clear?
Yes, please.
Okay, now let's go for U sub 2. U sub 2 will be equal to A plus, you know your n, so it will be 2, okay, minus 1d. So you are going to get A plus 2 minus 1, you know is 1, so 1d, so that will give you d. And again, once you know that U sub 1 is A, you know that for any sequence, if you want to AP for that matter, if you want to get the next term, remember we said you have to get the next term by adding a common difference. So if your first term is A, your next term will be A plus then your D. So if your second term is A plus D, the next one you add another D, which will give you A plus 2D. So if your third term is A plus 2D, the next term you add your common difference, which will be D. So it will be 2D plus D. That will give you 3D. So it will be A plus 3D. You get it?
Yes, please.
Okay. So now, this is what we are going to do. Okay. So at this point, I'll write but. Okay. I'm going to generate my formula from this. Okay. U sub 12. Okay. Is equal to, we know, is equal to A plus 11D. Do you agree? Or if you like, you can write, you will write, if you are not mature,
Yes,
you will
please.
write A, okay, you will write this. If you are not mature, you go and write this A plus N, which is 12 minus 1D, which will give you 11D in effect. You get the point? Hello, are you with me?
Yes, please.
Okay, so
Yes, sir.
if U sub 12 is equal to this, you know, you are also told that U sub 12 is equal to A. So at that point, I can write this implies that, okay, my 8, which is U sub 12, so I'll write A plus 11D is equal to 8. Do you agree?
Yes, please.
Okay, but you know, A is given as minus 4. So I know that that again will imply that minus 4 plus 11D, okay, is equal to 8. So I will come and make, okay, D the subject. So I will get 11D will be equal to 8, then plus what? Plus 4. So that will give us what? 12. All correct.
Yes, please.
Okay, so can I divide straight away?
No, please.
I can, but I shouldn't. All right, so yeah, it will, you write it again before you divide. Don't forget this. Okay, so over 11. So I will get my D, okay, to be equal to, in this case, I'm going to get, okay, what do you call it? An improper fraction. So 12 on 11, which I will change. So therefore, my D is equal to 1 whole number 1 on what? On 11. Okay, Prof. Adoma.
Mr. Hackman, please, in COMAT, can you skip the step where maybe you move the -4 to the other side and write +4 before you write the 12?
No, so you know, always I've told you, okay, and I know you can, I mean, relate and you agree with me that I've told you, anytime you are moving and the quantity that you have there, you are adding or you are subtracting, you can always do it mentally. So here, you know, you will come and someone will write 8 plus 4. That is not necessary. You can do that mentally because you know that 8 plus 4 will give you 12. I told you, anytime you are adding, you are subtracting, you can always do it mentally. So don't go and write.
Yes, please. Thank you.
Okay, you are welcome. So that will be it for D. Afa.
Yes, sir.
please.
Okay, very good. All right, so we are going to move on to that of the question 5. Okay, so Prof. Kennedy, are you there? Okay, so deal with this one for us. Okay, you should all study the question, okay, and it's not only for him, okay, it's for all of you, all try so that, okay, if in case, okay,
Yes.
in case you have any issues with her, I mean, his presentation, you can point it out because you have also tried. So you'll be able to fish out where the issues are.
Okay.
So just study the question. I'm giving you 1 minute to study the question. And don't be in a hurry. Anytime, at least for now. Okay, the first thing that you write, solution, given, and don't write that A is equal to this, B is equal to that, and use of N is equal to this. So you can write that one pending your inputs. Because that one, no input, you just copy and paste. Okay, then you think through the question and you strategize out as to how you will find your way out, as to how you'll be able to solve the question. Okay, so I think, okay, you've done that. Okay, 1 minute is up. So let's see. You tell me what I'm supposed to write. So first of all, you write solution. Okay, so let me start. Okay, so let's go, Prof. Kennedy. Okay, Prof. Bliss, any issues? Your hand is up. Okay, all right. So, Prof. Kennedy, let's go. So, question 5.
Please, I have a suggestion.
You have a suggestion? Okay. Go ahead. Prof. Bliss, go ahead. We are waiting.
Please, should I speak?
Oh, if not, why not?
Please, since you said for the general formula of the UN is the A plus N minus 1D, I thought for UN it to be the A plus N minus 1 into brackets times D before
So
you
are you,
substitute the.
are you speaking relative to this or the previous one?
Please, the UN. This question.
Is this question?
Yes, please.
Okay, so are you providing the solution to this question?
Oh, yes, that's why I was asking, can I speak?
Okay, I didn't know. You said you have a suggestion. Okay, so I didn't know whether the suggestion was. This question is already sold. Okay,
So,
it's sold out. Okay, so it's not available. It's really for Kennedy for now.
yes, please.
All right. Okay. So unless you want to have issues with Kennedy, otherwise allow him to answer this question. Okay. So Prof. Ken, let's go.
So as the general formula says, U
So
subscript N equals to A plus N minus 1D.
Okay, very
Where
good.
A is equals to 2, D is equals to 3, U subscript N is equals to
Okay, so this
74.
implies
So U subscript N is equals to 2 plus bracket N minus 1 bracket close 3.
so this implies 74. U sub N, is 74. It's equal to, you get it.
Yes.
So let's go.
So, but I'm doing this step by step so that like
Okay, so
everybody
your
gets
step by step, let me also write your step by step. So take your time and walk me through your step by step. Okay, you just relax so that if it needs, to be transformed, I will do so. So don't worry. Okay, so let me clear here. So let's go. Tell me what you write.
U subscript N is equals to, then you put the values in 2 plus bracket open N minus 1.
So meaning there is no implication here now.
Yeah.
Okay, so in that case, you are coming down. Are you coming down? From here, you come down. So you have to write close to the margin. You get it?
Yeah.
Okay, so equal to him. So let's go.
2 plus N minus 1. Yes, the bracket, then 3.
Okay, very good. So let's go.
Then U subscript N again.
No, if
is
it's
equals to
it's equal. You don't repeat
okay,
it. They simply
okay.
understood
Yeah,
the
yeah,
meaning. So
yeah,
let's
yeah,
go.
yeah. Okay, okay. 2 plus 3n minus 3
Mm-hmm.
then equals to neg1 plus 3n,
My
which
watch
is
at the end.
3n minus 1.
My watch at the end. Stop that.
Say how? Say how?
You know you have to write the positive first.
Say 3n minus 1. That's why I said neg1 plus 3n, which is 3n minus 1.
Okay, all right. Okay, so let's go.
Then, but un is equals to 74. You substitute n is equals to 74.
Okay. So this
So
implies
74 is equals to 3n minus 1. Then you interchange the values of the 74 and the 3n minus 1.
I interchange.
So the 3n minus 1. Yeah, the 3n minus 1 will come first, then the 74.
Okay, you want me
Like
to, okay, so you want me
you
to
send,
write.
yeah,
So you are repeating.
to the
This,
other side.
no, don't repeat.
Yeah,
As you
yeah.
are moving, keep the 3 ends
Okay.
there.
Say as I said, okay. 3n is equals to 74 plus the 1, which will give you 75.
Very good. Okay.
Then 3n is equals to 75. So you do it over 3 over 3. Then n is equals to 25. Therefore, n is equals to 25.
Okay. All right. You could have drawn your conclusion here as well. Okay, Alpha. Only that I thought when you were substituting, okay, you could have substituted 74 this side as well. Then you work with it
Step by
later.
step.
Okay. All right. It's okay. So that would be the ideal. So anytime you are substituting, if you can substitute all at the same time, substitute all at the same time. So you can see that he substituted for this side, then later came to substitute for this side as well, which is allowed. There is nothing wrong with that. Okay, only that if he had done the substitution for this side, which is also known, and this side, okay, then there wouldn't be any but here. Straight away, you move on. So you write only one but. Okay, so Prof.
Mr. Hackman, please, I want to know why we didn't bring the -1 to to the left side to become positive. Oh, okay, I'm sorry, I've seen it.
Okay, all right. We thank God. Okay, all right, for saying the fact that we want, if you like, you can still keep this one 3n here and move. So you get 75 is equal to 3n, then later conclude with the n here. If that is how you want to deal with it, there's nothing wrong with that. You can equally do that. Okay, point well made. Okay, so I guess based on that, you should be able to do this. Okay, then, okay, this becomes, okay, your, what do you call it? I think when you see this color, those of you who have joined us for the first time, whenever you see questions in this color, it means likely you see it in the class test. I said likely. Okay, I didn't say automatically it will come. Very likely you will see it in the class test. Okay, so at this point, okay, I am going to give you your water break. Okay, so by 8:14, you should all be back. Okay, so welcome back from the water break. Okay, so now we move straight to question 8. Okay, and 8, is A, then babies. Okay, in actual fact, I think the A even shouldn't be there because once you have A, then there should be a B. Okay, I separated, okay, the questions, I should have done that. Okay, but no issues, we'll still work with it the way it is numbered. It is none of your business, okay, to transform, either in terms of changing the question number or changing anything in the question. Okay, all right. So you work with what you are given. Okay, don't do any change. All right, so here we've been giving you some n is equal to this. When we are asked which of the term is this, and that. Okay, so here, all that you need to do, anytime you are giving the end term, okay, and you are asked to find which term, okay, particular term will give you a particular value. Okay, assume that your number that you have here, in this case, the number that your term should give you is the last term. So in that case, in the last term, remember I told you that the last term is the same as UN. So here, basically, you are supposed to equate the u sub n that you have here to the given number here and solve for your n. That's all. Okay, so anytime you are asked to, you know a particular term, its value, okay, and you want to know that number of terms, the term there, its position, whether it is the 8th term, the 4th term, the 7th term, okay, just equate the general term formula to that particular value and get what that n, as simple as that. So in this case, this is what I have. So solution, as usual, that's what we are supposed to write first. Then after that, what do we have? Okay, I have 8a, so I'll still write the 8a there. I won't change anything there. Then 8a, what am I giving? So I extract what I'm giving there. And I'm giving u sub n is equal to what? 2 minus 3n. Okay, then I come to I. I, what am I giving? I'm giving indirectly minus what? 58. Okay, so I'm looking for, somebody can as well extract it precisely. So instead of writing minus 58, the person can write u sub n is equal to minus 58 because you take this as your last term. Okay, so now I can say that, but my u sub n is equal to what? Minus 58. So this implies that, okay, 2 minus 3n is equal to minus 58. I form this equation and I go and solve for my n. Is my point well made, or I should come again? I think this is the first time I'm asking this question, okay, today.
It's well made.
Well made, all right, okay. So at this point, this is negative. If you like, you can keep it here because you are making n the subject and divide by negative. But I've told you, I always want to, okay, deal with the negative at its initial stages because negative, okay, per me, okay, or by me, it can be very stubborn. And most of you will agree with me. So I will move this one to the side and move this one here. So if I move this one, I'm going to get 2 plus 58, and that will give me 60. And that will be equal to, I move this one here, that will give me 3n. Okay, so at this point, I can write the 3n here is equal to 60, then divide. Or you can write exactly the same thing here, 60 equal to this before you divide. So over 3 over 3. So I will get, therefore, my n will be equal to what? 20. Is that clear?
Yes, please.
Okay. However, okay, here you can choose to conclude with n because in general, okay, when you are talking about series and sequence or sequences and series, you should know that the n is representing, okay, that's, okay, number of terms. So in this case, somebody can also conclude, therefore, the 20th term will give you this. Okay, or you end here, that's okay. So it means it is the 20th term, you know, n is the number of terms. So 20 here will mean, okay, the position. So the 20th term will give you minus 58. So you do same for the II. So II, okay, what are we giving? We are giving, okay, minus 100. So indirectly, okay, I know that I've been giving minus 100. And like I said, someone equally can write, okay, u sub n is equal to minus 100 and come and substitute. So let me present it in that way, manner, okay, for you to know that you can equally do same, so that you have variations in your presentation. So in this case, okay, I know which term of the sequence is this. So whatever term that I'm giving, I have to take it as my un. So I have been giving u sub n is equal to what? Minus 58. Oh, sorry, 100. I'm looking at II. Forgive me. So minus 100. Oops. Oh. Okay, so now this goes minus 100. And you are at that point, when you do that, you are in a comfortable lead. So minus 100. But the same u sub n is equal to this. So this implies that, okay, my 2 minus 3n is equal to minus 100. Okay, so what do I do? Again, I bring this one here, so I'll get 102 is equal to 3n. Okay, so I'm going to get 3n is equal to 102 over 3 over 3. What do you get?
34.
Come again.
34.
Okay, therefore n is equal to what? 34. As simple as that. Safa. Okay, so with that you should be able to do this. The I just equate this one to this and solve for your n. Okay, then another way is the same thing. Which of the term of this AP is this? Okay, only that this question is put differently. Okay, unlike the other one that we knew the UN, it was given directly. So we just equated that one to this and we solved. Okay, here, look at what is going to happen here. A little more work, that's all. But the understanding, the concept is basically the same. Prof. Abba.
Please, Mr. Hartman, please, when you try solving the I, you get an improper fraction. Is that also a thing?
It's intentional. Okay, it's good you have done it. And you have, so at this point, you pushed me to the corner to answer. Take note, in terms of the number of terms, if you solve for your n and your n is not an integer, a positive integer, okay, whole number, it means there is no such term that will give you this value. Should I come again?
No, please, I've gotten it.
You've
Thank
gotten
you.
it, all right, okay. I mean, I asked the question in general, not to only you. Okay. Please, should I come again or you are all fine?
Please come again.
Okay, so whenever you are giving your sequence, if you have UN is equal to whatever, your n here, okay, you know, yesterday I even told you that the n cannot even be 0. Remember somebody said u sub 0. And I said, no, we don't have that. So your n will be 1, 2, 3, okay, going. So if you get a fraction, okay, it cannot be the possible value of your n. So in that case, okay, it will tell you, assuming this one we solved, then we had, okay, 1 over 2 as our n. I'm just assuming 1 over 2. So in this case, because, hello, can you hear me?
Come again.
Yes, I'm coming again. That's exactly what I'm doing. Okay, so maybe you said this, okay, 2 months ago, and it is now here because of your your network. No issues. So I'm explaining again. My point is, anytime you solve, when you are given this situation and the person realizes that if you equate this one to this and you solve for your n will not be an integer value. Okay, it will give you a fraction. And when your n gives you a fraction, you know this n cannot be a fraction. So it's basically trying to tell you that there is no, okay, term in this sequence, okay, that will give you this value. So your conclusion will be, okay, therefore, there is no n, okay, or there is no term whose value will give us this. Because the question asks you to find which term. Okay, so you write therefore there is no term, well, which is what? Minus 110 in that particular sequence. Afa?
Yes, please.
Okay, good. All right. So, okay, anyway, all right. So that question has been answered. So now let's look at this. This one to solution, basically the same way. Only that unlike the first one where the work was made a little easy for us. Here, as usual, you extract, giving, okay, this is an AP, so it's 2, 5, 8 ellipses. And the information that we have here, we are told which of the terms here is what? Is 44. So remember we said the 44 here, we'll take it as our last term. So last term is the same as u sub n, which will be equal to what? 44. So it means here, the information here, we've extracted that as well as our UN. Is that clear? Hello, is that clear?
Yes, please.
Okay, but here you know this is an AP. So you come and write for an AP. Okay, u sub n, you know, is given by a plus n minus 1d, our formula. Okay, so but I know that my A is equal to what? Is equal to 2. And my D will be equal to 5 minus 2. Just do the first two. Once you are told it's an AP, just do the first two. It is none of your business to check the other one too. Or if the question is not, there is something wrong with the question, you are not getting a common difference, just work with the first two. Only that usually won't give you that situation anyway. Okay, all right, so that gives us what? 3. Okay, so this is what we have. So at this point, we are more than good to go. Okay, so we are going to write, okay, this implies that, so I'm going to carry out the substitution for A, for D as well. But you can see that this one too is also known, so I can substitute this one too. So like I said, when Kennedy was presenting, okay, his solution, or when I was walking you through the solution of that of Kennedy, okay, I mentioned this. So I will do the substitution all together. Use ab n, I know is 44, so I will write the 44 there. It's equal to A, I will substitute, that is 2, plus what? N minus 1, and I don't know. Okay, minus 1, D I know, and that is 3. So at this point, I will get 44. Okay, it's equal to 2 plus 3 and minus 3. So I'm going to get 44 is equal to what? 3 and, okay, then minus what? 1. So I'm going to get 45, okay, is equal to 3n. Okay, so 3n is equal to 45 over 3 over 3. So what do you get for your n?
15.
Okay, so therefore n is equal to what? 15. That's all. Safa.
Yes, please.
So the only difference here is that here you were supposed to go and find your use ab n and substitute the A and D. But if you look at the previous question, you can see that the A and D were substituted and simplified, and you ended up getting this. So you just equate and solve for your n. That's all. As simple as that. Okay, I saw a hand up. Hello. Okay, so Prof. Karen. Prof. Karen, are you there?
Mr. Hackman, I'm so sorry.
Come
My
again.
line went off, so I just joined.
Okay, then unfortunately, you
I'm
know.
so sorry. My line went off when we
Okay,
were
no
talking
issues.
about
Okay,
number
so
8.
definitely
So I
you.
didn't get this.
Okay, don't
This
worry.
question.
Unfortunately, I can't go back. So I will make the video available, then you catch up from there. Is that okay? Okay, so you know the rules. You have been with us. So, okay, unfortunately, I can't go back.
Okay.
All right, thanks for your understanding. Okay,
Thank
so
you.
this one is similar. Which of the terms also is similar to what we just did? Okay, so you are now going to find, you quote your use ab n, which will be in terms of A, N, and D. Okay, you know A, you know your D. Then you equate it, substitute, and equate it to this, and you are good to go. Okay, so that will be it. Okay, so now we are going to look at the sum of an AP. I'm really, okay, on track. Okay, so we've done, okay, the general term of an AP. Now we are going to look at what? The sum of what? An AP. The sum of an AP, the general formula for that. Then once you know that, we can use it to find the particular sums. Okay, so here we have the sum of the first n terms. Okay, and you know, is denoted by S sub n of any sequence of an arithmetic progression. And here I'm restricting myself to AP, remember. Okay, the formula for that of the GP will be different. Okay, is given by the formula. Okay, so I've given you 2. Okay, the first one, S sub n is equal to n over 2. Okay, square bracket 2a plus n minus 1. Okay, in brackets D. Okay, and we can prove all the formulas that we have here, like I mentioned when I was walking you through the use of n. We can prove it, but I won't bore you with the proof. So your duty is to learn how to quote the formula and how to use it. That's all. Okay, and the second one is this. Okay, this particular one is embedded in this. Okay, you know, if you remember, I said, okay, that L is equal to what? Use ab n. Do you agree? Our last term. So it means L is equal to A plus n minus 1D for any AP. Do you agree, my professors?
Yes, please.
Okay, now let's see what we have here. Okay, can I write, I'm only concentrating on this side. So everything that I write, assume S sub n is there. So what I have here, I'm more or less trying to prove the formula, the second one. Okay, what I have here, can I write it as, okay, n over 2 square bracket a. Come again. Did you say my line is breaking? Hello, did you say my line is breaking? All right, okay, so when she comes back, then I can write 2a the same as a plus a. Do you agree? Hello, do you agree?
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Okay,
please.
then plus n minus 1d. Okay, but you can see that the whole of this is the same as your u sub n, which is the same as, so this is the same as u sub n, which is the same as your L. So I can write this as n over 2, then into bracket a plus L, or a plus u sub n. So this formula is embedded in this. However, this is the advice. Okay, you use this formula when you don't know the last term. So meaning when you are dealing with, okay, an infinite sequence or series, if you like, then you use this one when you know the last term. So when you are dealing with a finite sequence. Afa, you get the point?
Yes, please.
Okay, because this involves the last term. So if you don't know the last term, you can't use this. Okay, otherwise you go for our usual, you know, A is the first term, D is the common difference, N is the number of terms. You know these, okay, notations and what they represent. Okay, so now let's look at how best we can make use of that information or that formula that we have there. Okay, so quickly, let's look at our first word example. Find the sum of the first 10 terms. So we are finding the sum of the first 10 terms. So indirectly, we are finding S sub what?
10.
S sub 10. Okay, very good. Okay, but before you can find S sub anything, any particular sum, okay, you need to know the general sum formula. Okay, so here, let's see how we can deal with this question. So solution. We will not be quick to quote the formula, okay, for the sum, because we have to, the sum formula that I gave you, remember, is for an AP. So let's check whether what we have here is an AP before you quote the sum. If you were told that this is an AP, then you know directly, okay, you move on and you can quote. Okay, so here, let's see, what are we giving? We are giving, okay, so 1. Okay, I've been giving the sequence, and for every series and sequence question, if the sequence is given, it's very important you extract, because all that you are going to do will be based on that. So we want to verify whether there's an AP. So let's find the first, okay, consecutive difference. That will give you 3 minus 1 as your rough work. That is 2. The second, okay, consecutive, 5 minus 3, and that's also 2. So obviously we have a common difference. Is that clear? So now I can say that this is an AP comfortably. Okay, then for an AP, you come and quote the general formula for S sub n. S sub n is equal to, so now we know I gave you 2 of the formulas, or I gave you 2 formulas, and we said, okay, one, you use it in a particular situation, and the other one too, there is a particular condition that, okay, it will be convenient for you to use. So let's see, obviously we are dealing with a sequence that we don't know the last term. So it means we have to quote the first one. So in that case, I'll write the formula as n over 2, okay, then square brackets, then 2a plus n minus 1, okay, d. Then close my square bracket. Afa?
Yes, please.
Okay, so in this case, you can see straight away, I know my A, I know my D. Okay, A is 1, D is what? 2. Okay, but I'm looking for S sub what? S sub 12. So I can substitute the A and D and later come and substitute the N, which is 12. Okay, but no issues. Now we are mature, so I'm going to handle the question maturely. So in this case, I'll write, therefore, what am I looking for? S sub 12 will be equal to, Remember your n is 12, so it will be 12 over 2 into 2a. What is your a? We are matured. A is 1. Is that clear? So it's not necessary to go and write a is 1, what have you. You can pick it and use it. Okay, Prof. Stephanie.
Mr. Hackman, please, won't it be S sub 10?
Oh, I wrote sub 12. Forgive me.
Yes.
I've also started exhibiting symptoms. Maybe I have to end and go and find something to eat. All right. Okay, so it's supposed to be 10. Forgive me. Okay, so it means you are following. Okay, well done. All right. Okay, so I guess my point is still well made. So it will be S sub 10. Instead of coming to write, but n is equal to 12, okay, a is equal to 1, and d is equal to, you can pick it straight away. So n is equal to 10. I'm still working with the 12. Okay, then that will be equal to, so Prof. Karen, your hand is.
Mr. Hackman, please, why are we using S sub 10?
Okay, because we're asked to find the sum of the first 10 terms, and that is represented by S sub 10. I asked, okay, even before I started, you remember?
I went off.
You went off, okay, all right. Okay, so that's it. The question is asking us to find the sum of the first 10 terms, so which is the same as S sub 10. Is that clear? Okay, so that gives us what? D is what? D is 2. Okay, so you end. Okay, now the rest will be algebra. So this is 10. I forgot the 0. So this will give you 5. Okay, then you remove the bracket here. So once you are removing the inner bracket, the outer bracket will take, okay, the ordinary bracket. The square bracket will take the usual bracket. So it will be 2 times 1, which is 2. Then plus the 10 minus 1. Okay, and that will give you, what do you call it? 9, then times 2. And that will give us what? 18. Am I right?
Yes, please.
Okay, so this gives us, you deal with what you have in bracket. Okay, this gives us 20. Okay, then times 5 will give us 100. So the sum of the first 10 terms will be equal to, of this sequence will be equal to 100. Safa?
Yes, please.
Okay, if you can't do it, okay, mentally, substitute, take the values mentally and substitute. Like I said, you can come and write but. Okay, all that you are going to substitute, you write it. So, but A is equal to, okay, 1. D is equal to, you found out 2. And this is your rough work. Don't forget to strike it out. It's vital, okay, for you to do the rough work in this instance. Okay, then your N will be equal to 10. I almost said 12. Okay, so that will be it. So here, that will be it for this solution. Let's go and look at the next one. Similar, okay, to what we just did. Okay, so at this point again, solution. Okay, what are we supposed to find? The sum of the first 20 terms. So we are asked to find S sub 20. Okay, it's equal to what? That's what we are looking for. So let's extract our sequence. Okay, so in this case, solution to question number 2, the sequence that we have, -9, okay, -4, okay, 1, then ellipsis. Okay, do we need to go and verify whether what we have there is an AP, like we did in the previous one?
No, please.
No, so here you are
No,
told. So that's right, very good, you are doing well. So for an AP, okay, comma, S sub n, because you need the S sub n to find your S sub particular 20. Okay, so that is what? Okay, n over 2. Do you know the last term? We don't know the
No,
last
sir.
term. So it means we put the 2a plus n minus
No.
1, okay, d formula. Then you close it. Okay, so at that point, you come here. So I'm going to present it the other way too. Okay, so in this case, I write but, okay, n is equal to 20. A is equal to the first term here, which is -9. And, okay, your D is equal to, here we know, because you didn't do your rough work, you have to use the first 2 to get your D. So that will be -4 minus -9, so it will be +9. And that will be equal to what? 5. Is that clear? Afa. Okay, so therefore, okay, S sub 20 and it will be equal to, so you are going to substitute 20 over 2, Then 2a, 2, what is our a? Minus 9. Okay, plus n minus 1, n is 20, minus 1, then your d is 5, then your square bracket. So in effect, this will be equal to 20 over 2 will give us 10. Then you come and remove the bracket here, minus 18. And you can see you are supposed to change this one to the ordinary bracket. Then this will give you, okay, 19 times 5. Is that okay? Okay, and what would that give us?
95.
Okay, so plus what? 95. Okay, so now what do? We are going to get 10 into, okay, minus 18 plus 95. What would that give us? My professors, are you there? What would that give us?
77.
Okay, so 7, 7. Okay, so now our last answer will be 770. So we are done. So if you sum the first 20 terms of this, okay, I mean this AP, you end up getting this. If you don't know this formula, okay, if you don't know this formula and you know the UN formula, you are good to go, only that you work harder. So it means you are supposed to find the first term up to the 20th term, then you add. You get my point?
Yes, please.
So you will find, okay, you know the 3 terms. So it means you are going to find the 4th term up to the 20th term. Okay, then you sum all the terms. But when we know this formula straight away, we can get, okay, the sum of the first 20 terms without necessarily knowing all the 20 terms, or the first 20 terms. Is that clear?
Yes, please.
Okay, that's the purpose of the formula. So let's see the next, okay, question. All right, let's see how best we can deal with this. Okay, another interesting question. Okay, find the sum of the terms of the sequence. Okay, the sequence contains a decimal. Okay, so let's assume, if for nothing at all, at least we should all be able to write this. Okay, solution, the question number, then the sequence itself. So giving 8, 7.5, okay, 7, okay, then ellipsis, okay, comma, then 2. So this is a finite sequence, you know. So you are finding the sum of the terms of the sequence that we have here. We are going to pause, think through, and let's see how best we can deal with it. When you come up with your, okay, way or suggestion, then we'll look at it together. Okay, so now that you've thought through, okay, let's look at the solution. Okay, Prof. Herbert, you said we use the second formula, so let's go.
Please, the reason why we use the second formula is because the second formula is that we use the second formula because we know the last term.
Okay, so let's go. I want you to, he said, so let's go. Let's use it and see what will happen. So let's go.
Okay. So we found, we know that A is 8.
Okay.
And N is 2.
N is 2.
Because it is the last term.
N is 2.
Yes. The SN.
SN.
Yes.
Is 2.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
And L.
Immediately you write this a Kabefie.
So you said?
I said immediately you write this, okay, a Kabefie. Do you understand a Kabefie?
Debbie.
That means, a Kabefie. What to be catching said also a Kabefie. I mean, what the problem about?
Okay.
You get a debt, nobody wants debt. A car is debt.
Okay.
So it's not S sub N. Do you understand S sub N? S sub N is the sum of the first N terms.
Okay.
No, so even if you look at this, the sum of even the first term is 8. And all the terms there are also, so there's no way the sum of the first N term will give you 2.
Okay.
So what is known here is your last term. And your last term is represented by what?
is represented by 2.
No, the formula for the last term, L. Okay, when I was giving L is equal to something. Remember I said L is equal to U sub N rather, not S sub N.
Okay.
You get it?
Yes, sir.
So be very careful what you write. Okay, we mark only what you write, not what you have in your head.
Okay.
Okay, so now come again. Reorganize yourself and come again.
Okay, so let me reorganize myself.
Okay, all right. Anyone to try? Okay, Prof. Kessler.
Mr. Hackman, please. I think we can try determining whether it's AP. And when we get the D, we used to find the other
Very
terms.
good. So your first point of call is to determine whether what you have there is an AP or not. But because now we are looking at an AP, okay, so if you treat it as an AP, there wouldn't be any issue. But always, okay, don't make that assumption. First, okay, for the type of sequence that you are dealing with. Always. Okay, that's fine. So let's go. So let's see. 7.5 minus 8, that will give you 0.5 or minus 0.5.
Negative 0.5.
Okay, which is negative half. Okay, 7 minus 7.5.
The absolute value will give you 0.5.
No, we are not looking for absolute value here, I beg. The common difference can also be negative. It's not only positive. Is that okay? So the difference here is negative 0.5. The difference between this is also negative 0.5. So you have a common difference. Is that clear? So if you want to work with a decimal, you can work with a decimal. Otherwise, you change it to fraction. But your answer, avoid leaving your answer in terms of decimals. If you can get a corresponding fraction, you do so. Okay, so quickly, let's see. Now we know this is an AP. For an AP, so let's go. So this is an AP. By then you have done your test. Okay, you've done 7.5 minus 8, which gave us negative 0.5. Then we did, okay, 7 minus 7.5, which also gave us negative 0.5. So you've done the test. We know this is an AP. Okay, so for an AP, we know we are looking for the sum, okay, of a certain number of terms. So quote the general formula. So for an AP, okay, S sub N, okay, is equal to, let me calm down. Okay, I can write through this. Okay, no issues. But you cannot, if this happens to be your line that you have ruled, you cannot write through that. You have to go down. Okay, so what do we do? So which formula will you quote?
N over 2.
N over 2.
Into bracket A plus L.
Okay, into bracket A plus L. Okay, this time right, it will be the ordinary bracket. Okay. All right, so you know your A. Okay, we need to go and find our L. Is that clear? Do you know L? You don't know L. So let's see how best we can find L. So at this point, Prof. Abba.
Sir, please, I have a way of solving it.
Okay, so let's go. We are exploring. After that, I will give you the general way, the best way to go. So let's go.
Okay. So we know the last term is 2.
So
but
what
then
will you write?
We don't know what term of the sequence 2 is. So we have to
so we
find.
don't know N. We know A and L, but we don't know N.
Yes, please.
Very
so
good.
we have to find. So we have to find N.
Uh-huh.
So we'll quote the general formula for finding the rule in terms of N.
Okay, so
and that will help us
the general formula for the nth term. The general term
please.
formula, you mean?
Yes, please.
Okay, so now you've quoted this. So what will you write?
Sir, please, I did it a different way.
So at this point, maybe you can write this, but okay, you know your A, okay, is equal to what? 8. And what? Your L is equal to
Is
2.
equal
You don't know your N. So now what you can write, this implies that S sub N is equal to N over 2 into what? Your A, which is 8 plus what? 2. Is that clear? Okay, which gives you S sub N is equal to N over 2, then into 10. Afa, which will
Yes,
give
please.
you S sub N is equal to what? I can choose not to repeat the S sub N again and just write equal to. So that will give you 5N. Is that clear? But
Yes, please.
unfortunately, before you can find S sub N, we need the N so that we know the number of terms here. And for you, so this is not a value. We need a value. This is in terms of a variable N. So at this point, you need to go and find your N. And for every sequence, when you know the first term and AP, for that matter, if you know the first term and you know the common difference, okay, any particular term that you know, you can go and find your N. So let's go and see. So, but again.
But U sub N is equal to,
U sub N.
yes, is equal to. Sir, please, I did mine to find 2. So I wrote U sub N is equal to 2. So I wanted to find the
U sub N is
term.
equal to 2.
Yes,
You
then
use 2.
U sub, yes,
Okay.
then U sub N, which is 2, is equal to.
No, so quote the U sub N formula, which is N minus 1D.
Okay.
Is that not it?
Yes, please. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
And U sub N is
Please,
equal to.
let me hold on. The rest of you, are you following or you are lost? You are following. Okay, if you are lost, please let me know. This will be the last question, okay, for the day. So now, we need A, we need N, and we know U sub 1. You can even use U sub 1. Okay, but if you use U sub 1, it will not be helpful because it will only give you A. There wouldn't be any N.
Yes.
You get it? So you either use
Yes.
U sub 2 or you use U sub 3 or even U sub this. So I will go for U sub 3 because it doesn't involve any decimal. The number there is PT. You get it?
Yes.
You get it? So I can write, okay, U sub 3. I know, even straight away, I know from this, U sub 3 will be equal to A plus what? 2. So A, what is your A? You said your A is 8 plus what? 3 minus, so that will give you 2D. D is what? D is, where did you get? D gave us 0.5. Am I right? Negative 0.5. Am I right?
Yes.
Okay, so now let's go. My professors, are you following?
Yes, please.
Okay, so let's go.
Yes, sir.
So
8 plus.
so now U sub 3 is what? Is 7. Is that not it? So this implies that
Yes.
7 will be equal to 8 minus half. So it will be 2 over. So it will give you minus 1. Afa.
Yes.
Are you sure you are following?
Sarah following.
Asamwaba.
And say, please where from the U sub 3?
Yeah, so
Sir, please, I was trying to say that I solved it a different way, which I think is much easier.
it's much easier. Okay,
Yes.
so you let me allow you to talk. Okay, so I think that's exactly what you were saying. Or
no.
Okay, so sorry. Then let's proceed. So from here up to this, or how did you?
Sir, please, from the Sn is equal to N over 2, so you can erase from that side.
Okay, so I can clear this. I can clear this, but Sn is equal to. This one
after
should
the
be there.
first bar.
After the first bar, the whole of this should go.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, please.
All right. I'm assuming the whole of this is gone. So let's go.
Okay, so I did
Quickly. Mhm.
since U subscript N is equal to L and
Mhm.
L is equal to 2, I did 2 is equal to
Oh, no. You use your last term
8.
to find it. As
But
simple
then
as
with
that.
that one, you get the last term straight, so it won't be.
No, you see, you are going to get your N. It's the N that you need, though.
So yes, and so you know that your N is 13.
So that's it. Then you are good to go. So it's N that you are looking for. If you get N, then you can see that all the one that we found, we knew the value of A and we knew the value of D, and as well as N. You always need to know your N before you can find the sum. So that will tell you that if you find 13, then it means this sequence from here to here is a finite sequence of 13 terms. So indirectly, the question is asking you to find the sum of the first 13 terms or the sum of the 13 terms of this sequence. You get my point?
Okay. Yes,
So
please.
always use this. If you want to use the last one, okay, use the last term formula to get your N, always. So this will be it, but okay, your L, okay, you know it's equal to what?
2.
Okay, no, it's equal to 2, but you stated that one here. So that will give you A plus what? N minus 1 what? D. Is that not it?
Yes.
Okay, so it means 2 will be equal to, you know
Yes.
your A. What is your A?
8.
8. Okay, plus N minus 1. You don't know N. Okay, so N minus 1. You know your D. Negative 0.5. So let me use negative half. Is that okay? Because I want to
Yes,
avoid
please.
working with decimal. So I'll get 2 is equal to 8 plus, let's go. Plus
Half.
half, okay, then minus, okay, 1/2n. Do you agree?
Half. Yes, please.
Please, are you following? Because of time, I know I'm moving a little fast. Okay, so at this point, what do? You can combine this or clear the fraction. Let's clear the fraction. So that will give us 4 by 2 is equal to 16, okay, plus 1,
Plus
then minus
1
n.
minus n.
Okay, so I'm going to get n to be equal to, I'll move this one here and bring this one here. So it will be 17 minus 4, and that will give you 13.
13. Yes.
So you know your n. So it means now the question is asking you to find, therefore, the sum of the first 13 terms will be equal to, you know, okay, your n. Okay, that's why. So your n will be equal to 13/2 into your A, which is what? 8, plus your L, which is 2, and you are good to go. So the other one to where I ended up getting Sn is equal to, what do you call it? We had 5n, right? S sub n is equal to 5n. You needed the n. So at that point that you want to find your n, you are supposed to use the last term formula to find your n. So you come and get the 13. So you will straight away write S sub 13 will be equal to 5 times 13. And what would that give you?
Answer.
No, you let me land. Give me this answer and we'll go and do this one too.
65.
It will give you
65.
65. If you come here to, let's look at what you will get. You are going to get 13/2, then this will give you 10. Is that not it? So this will go here. So you get 13 times 5 is the same thing, which will end up giving you, okay, your 65. Is that clear?
Yes.
So what we were doing up to that point, that we had the relation for Sn in terms of n, there is nothing wrong, only that we need the n. So you use the last term to find your n. So your last term is the same as U sub n. So you know A, you know D, you know L is equal to 2. Substitute and that will help you find your n. Safa?
Yes.
Okay, so at this point, okay, we'll bring this. So you should be able to, this one is the usual one. You use the A and the D one, the first formula, okay, to find it. Okay, so this one as well, the numbers are not that pretty, but once it's in green, you know. Okay, so similar to what we have here. So this one too, just like the user. So you put the S sub n formula, then substitute your A, your D, okay, and you use it to find your N, because your equation will be in terms of A, D, and N. So once you know A and you know D, and you substitute and equate it to this, your equation will only be in terms of n. Then you solve for your n, as simple as that. So you try that. If you have issues, next meeting, we'll look at that. So our next meeting, we'll look at general examples. Okay, if you have issues with the previous one, we'll go through that anyway before. Okay, so thank you very much once again for making the class a success. Okay, your assignment will come. It's possible maybe I will give you another assignment aside the classwork. Okay, otherwise then we have to wait for our next meeting. Okay, so please once again, okay,